have a problem in the area of submission. Now, Peter's going to do us all a favor. So thank God Peter's going to teach us something today. The rest of y'all, we're going to work on y'all. It's obvious you don't want to be talking about that. Peter directs his teaching today to all believers, all citizens of heaven. He tells us how we ought to be submissive in two areas of daily life. Here they are. Number one, be submissive in government and be submissive to our bosses. Now, we're going to look at them one at a time. But look what he says beginning in verse 13. He says, therefore, submit yourselves to every. How many is every? All. Ordinances or laws, conditions, premises. Y'all all right? He says, submit yourself to every ordinance of man for the Lord's sake. Look what it says. Whether to kings as supreme, or to governors, as to those who are sent by him for the punishing of evildoers and for the praise of those who do good. Judges. And so here's what Peter says. Since you are a citizen of heaven, you ought to live here as a citizen, understanding since you are submissive to the King of Kings, to the Lord of Lords. Since you, as a citizen of heaven, understand submission because you've already surrendered your life to Christ, he says, therefore now on earth there are rulers and authorities that we still answer to. I knew it was going to be one of those quiet sermons today. See, the word submission here in the Greek text, in the original text, here's what it means. It means to arrange in military fashion under the command of a leader. Jesus taught us how to be submissive with his own life. He said, once you see me do, you see the Father do, because I only do the things that the Father sent me to do. I do nothing on my own. In the upper room, the night before he was crucified, we see his obedience. The Father told him to wash the feet of those that would serve him and would fall underneath his command, to be servers, to give their lives in submission to his authority. Jesus used words like this when he talked to us as believers. Listen to these words. He uses the word surrender your life. He uses the word obey my commandments and premises today. He says to yield your will to the Father's will. He uses words that describe the action of those who want to follow Jesus. We must be submissive here on earth to ruling authority, governments, governors, judges, police. I'll be getting some amens from some folks. I'm getting a little worried. We live in a country to where everybody wants to exercise their rights. We're living in such I tell you, this generation that's coming up next is so defiant to this Christian principle. It's just unbelievable. The lack of respect and honor to those in authority. I want to remind you this morning, Peter says that we, since we have a citizenship in heaven, we understand a king. We serve a king. We're under his command. We're under his authority. He is in charge in the discussion. Yeah. Now here's what Peter said. Now, and he said, well, why would he have to teach the Christians that? Can I remind you, in this time, the Roman Empire is the largest empire of the time. They conquered thousands of miles of land. They conquered people. They are creating a new culture. They are thinking culture. And they also, because they're hated, there is so much rebellion against their authority as the ruling, dominant power on the earth. And so here's what God says. Here's what Peter tells the Jews. He tells the Christians that are suffering persecution. They're under this government that is oppressing them and killing them and limiting them. And Peter says, listen, we belong to a king that requires us to be submissive to authority. You're supposed to set an example. You're supposed to follow like Jesus followed the Father. He was submissive and surrendered to the Father in all areas of his life. He didn't pick and choose. The Bible says when Jesus walked this earth, he had ruling dominion, according to Colossians. He had ruling dominion over everything in this earth. Yet he humbled himself to the requirements of God while on this earth. It's amazing to me. It overwhelms me that we are teaching a generation of young people to disrespect authority. And it's in the area of government now. You say, well, Brother Sam, the Bible says that I'm supposed to do everything God says. That's exactly right. Let me draw this to your attention in the text, because I want you to see this in verse 13. Look at verse 13. He said, for this is the will of God, that by doing good you will put to silence the ignorance of foolish men. Now, look what he says. You're a citizen. And since you're a citizen of a different kingdom and a different king, our king has lived for us the example. He has shown us how to treat authority. Can I take you back to the court? You remember when Jesus stood before Pilate? You remember when they accused Jesus before Pilate? You remember that Pilate went over to a bowl and Pilate washed his hands and said, this man's innocent. I really don't have anything to charge you with. And so he thought he would appease them by having Jesus beaten. He thought the Jews would back off. And so he had something at his disposal that he could use to satisfy the Jews, but yet not make him look guilty. So he said, y'all take him out and beat him. But he's innocent. I'm just doing this to try to appease everybody. Now, did Jesus respond like this, like what I hear young people do today? You teenagers, y'all listen? I sure did an amen from some teenager somewhere that you're listening. You need to listen. When our Jesus was falsely accused, he had no charge against him. He was innocent. Everybody looks at your neighbor and say, he's innocent. They accused him of something he did not do. And because they accused him, and because a ruling authority said, go beat him, he went to a pole, got stripped down naked, and got beat within an inch of his life. And here's what the Bible says. He never uttered a word. My goodness, I hear mamas and daddies telling teenagers to do stuff, and they talk to them like they don't have to do anything mom and daddy says. We expect them to follow what a policeman says, or we expect them to follow what the governor says, or what our president says. They're never going to follow in line of authority. Y'all all right? Now, y'all ain't amen because you know where they learned that junk, right? They learn it at home. They get by with it at the house. They get by with it at the house. Mama's not considered an authority. Daddy's not considered an authority. I have rights. A few years ago, my daughters came home. They don't say this now, but they didn't know no better. They were ignorant. They were foolish. They come home and told me, Daddy, our counselor says we have rights. I said, you do. You've got all the rights that I extend you. Well, they said, if you do this and do this, I can do this. I said, you can't do that. But guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to extend my rights as a parent. You all right? Yeah. But that's kind of nonsense that's planted in the minds of children today. And it's getting worse and worse. Because we don't see that we have to be respectful and have to be obedient, but that's not what Peter says. And Peter says in verse 14, it is the will of God. I hear people say all the time, well, say what's the will of God? He reveals it in here. He says be obedient, be respectful, be obedient to authorities and government. Every ordinance Now, look up here just a minute. Can I tell y'all Brother Sam struggles with this son? Y'all right. Speed limit's 45, but I'm not supposed to drive. My wife did a wonderful job reminding me of all this. She said, so I'm preaching to you today. I said, I've been preaching to me all week. I'm about to give me a relief and give them y'all. I'm about to pass it up. When the law states, when it's not in direct opposition of God, you are supposed to obey the laws of the land. It says don't litter, don't throw trash out of your car. If it says don't feed, you're not supposed to feed. If it says that you can't protest, you can't protest. Y'all right? I don't care what your little feelings think. I don't care if you listen to some liberal tell you that you've got a right to oppose the law. If you don't like the law the way it is written, then you go out and do what you're supposed to do as a United States citizen and go vote, or better yet, serve in public office and help write godly laws. But if they're not against God's law, then you're supposed to obey our law. Amen. Right. Look over here. That includes the law in the church. Amen. Y'all right? There's some authority in here. Now, in fact, the Bible says that you're supposed to honor the people that teach you and are the keepers of your soul, that invest in your spiritual life, in your spiritual. Y'all all right? There's authority in here, teachers and men and women of God, and there's order in the church. Amen. Right here in the text. I didn't write it. Look at verse 16. Now, this is the verse that's got me. That applies. It says, as free, yet not using liberty as a cloak for vice, but as a bondservant of God. Honor all people. Love the brotherhood. Fear God. Honor the king. Just in case you don't know how you're supposed to serve under governments, he says, honor all people. Let me tell you, I may not like a certain elected official, but because he's an official, I must, according to the scripture, honor the position of the official. Might not think much of him as a man or a woman. Are y'all right? President Obama was my president. Even though I didn't like his policies and may not have agreed with his policy, he was still the president of the United States. Amen. He held an office. I'm supposed to honor the office, the way it says. I love the brotherhood. Supposed to love each other. All of us in common. We can agree to disagree on politics, but we're supposed to love each other while we do it. Are y'all all right? Now, we may see different on policies and we may see different on things, but listen. At the end of the day, if I allow that to create hatred and bitterness and division, God hates division. Brotherhood. I just need to pray you get right. Watch this. Fear God. Fear God. That word fear, by the way, it is your text means be afraid of. Well, Sam, I'll do what I think you want to. I will oppose every authority in my life if I want to. You can go right ahead and do that. And let me just remind you of the king that you serve, that he has the right to discipline you as his child. As a citizen, he has the right to tear your backside. And he does. Look at this. Honor the king. You know what Jesus wants us to do? Can I just tell you, if all people are going to violate the law, they're going to hate authority? Yeah, how many of y'all agree with that? The law people just go out that way. They're going to be disrespectful of authority. They're going to be mean-spirited. They're going to be ugly. They're going to be all those things. They don't know any better than lost people. But Peter says, we know different. We're citizens of a different kingdom. We know different. Here's what God says. I expect you to honor authority. I expect you to be submissive to authority, just like you're supposed to be under my authority. Because, listen what he says. Those foolish people that don't know truth, that don't know how to act under authority, it's our job to win it. It's our job to win it. But now, when we're acting like those people, how are we going to win it? There's no difference. I love a few years ago, there was a lady that, you may remember this story in Texas. She murdered her children. I hate to bring this up on Mother's Day, but it's a reality. She murdered her children while she was in prison awaiting her death sentence. This is back in the 1980s. While she was awaiting her death sentence in Texas, the chaplain there led her to Christ. Later in their relationship, they ended up getting married while she was in prison, awaiting death sentence. And I never will forget, they interviewed her just before they executed her. And she was at peace, and she would not file another appeal. Matter of fact, she never filed an appeal. And the reason she didn't is because her husband taught her this verse, and here's what he told her. He said, as a sinner, you violated and broke the ordinance of man. You have violated the law. You committed this heinous crime. And as a result of that, they have passed a sentence. You have been judged. And the Bible says that that judgment is going to be fulfilled unless the grace of God changes it. Guess what you're going to do? They're going to kill you. And her godly husband told her this. You will affect more people by the way you accept and honor God in the execution than you will anything else. She didn't murmur, she didn't complain, she didn't point fingers, she took total responsibility, and they executed that woman. Hundreds have come to Christ. Her testimony was being preached by her husband. She fulfilled and honored God in the midst of that suffering, that execution. The judge passed sentence on her. Did you read in there where it says the judge has the right to do away with evildoers, as well as judge good people? Last time I got a speeding ticket. I have some friends on the police force. Have some highway patrolmen friends. And they heard that I got a ticket. And they called me and said, "Brother Sam, we can help you with that." I said, "No. Brother Sam, you broke the law. I deserve whatever I have to do. $225 on my back. $225 on my back pocket. I could have taken advantage of friendship. Could have used, I could have used some friends and their word and their ability to speak up for me. And I could have got away with that. Let me ask you something. Do you think I would have got away with it with my guy? By the way, what would I taught my kids? John was in the truck with that day. He was embarrassed, blue lights on. Daddy's going to jail. So I have to call Mama.
That's the worst.
I also really know that our police friends could have got me out of it if they hadn't paid the fine. I want my son to learn that God expects you to honor him in the midst of consequences, especially when you break the law. Number 2. You ain't gotta like me, but you gotta love me. According to verse 18 through 20, we're supposed to be submissive to our bosses. Look, verse 18, it says, "Servants, be submissive to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also the harsh. For this is commendable if because of conscience toward God one endures grief and suffering wrong. Peter uses the word servant here, which means these were the household slaves. It's in terms of serving a master in a home. I like what Paul says in Colossians 3:22. He says, "Bond servants, obey in all things your master." How much is all? All. According to the flesh, which means to act it out, not with eye service as men pleasers, but in sincerity of heart, fearing God. Peter refers to those two types of bosses, the gentle and the harsh. The ones that treat you good and the ones that falsely accuse you. Everybody needs to look up here too, because here's where we struggle. Some of you are going through some suffering because you're serving a boss that's being unruly, ungodly. And they're being very harsh, being mean to you, saying ugly things to you, holding you accountable and stuff. The Bible says that when you and I have a master, and that's usually somebody that lords over us. Now, teenagers, I want y'all to look up here, Brother Sam, just a minute. I want all eyes looking at me. You don't need to look down at the floor. There ain't nothing down there that you can look at that are looking at me. Don't look up here. Teenagers, your teachers and your principals are your masters. They are your masters. You're there, they're put over authority of you. They're there to teach you and instruct you. Your job is just to simply learn, not to be a headache and a heartache with your family and everyone else while you're there.
Amen.
Amen?
Amen.
I know I get a teacher or two so inside. Stephanie, like I have an hallelujah. No, I'm just kidding. She's thinking, you need to preach that to parents before school starts. And y'all give me an invitation, I'll do it. Listen, there's a lot of Christians I know that give eye service to their bosses. Y'all know what I'm talking about? When they walk up and say, "Are you working?" "Oh, yes," and talk good about them and do everything while they're there. And then when they walk off, you know what you do? Prop up, lean up, talk about it. By the way, if a boss gives you a 10-minute break, how many minutes are you supposed to take? 9 minutes. Somebody said it right, 9. Yeah, we're going to go 10 minutes. You do 10, I'm taking 10 minutes and 32 seconds. If a boss tells you that you can use nuts and bolts at the workplace, does he mean you can load them up and take them home and use them at your house? All them pencils and pens they buy that they want you to use at work, they don't mean for you to carry them home and let your kids use them at school. Y'all right. I'm going to Midland now, ain't it? Some of y'all looking at me mean. Where's my security team? I'm going to meet y'all. Isn't it amazing how we treat our bosses? Yet the Bible says that we're to honor our master. That we're to do it with honor of conscience. I have a master in heaven that tells me how to live my life. He gives me rules. He gives me order. He gives me everything I need, structure. If I can live for Him and follow Him, the very least I can do is honor Him in the workplace. I'm going to talk to my teenagers in a minute, because I'm telling you, I'm really disappointed in the way that our teenagers respond to teachers. Brother Sam was one of them kids in high school, junior high. How many of y'all know what I'm talking about? Got in trouble. Back in my day, let me tell you how they handled it. If you disrespected a teacher and some man hurt you, they snatched you up, took you to a building somewhere, pulled out a paddle, and tore your backside up. Then they took you to the principal, and the principal tore your backside up. Then when you got home, Mom and Daddy tore your backside up. But let me tell you how we've changed here in America. Mom and Daddy now goes to the school and points at the teacher and says it's their fault. Come on. My little Jeannie, my little John don't do those things. Yes, they do at home. You just ignore it. Thank you. I'll just need just a little encouragement. Just a little encouragement. So they get by with it at home. They get by with it here at church. Get by with it in public. And then we want to go to the schoolhouse and say, my little kid would never do those things. Now we blame the authority problem. I tell my kids when an adult says it, I don't care if they're the violence adult I ever know. I'm taking the adult word. Y'all right? Till I catch them lying, I'm taking the adult word. You're the one that don't know how to behave, so behave yourself. Don't blame it on the teacher, not the teacher's fault, not the principal's fault, not the coach's fault. Man, I wish I could get right there and preach about how I see young people teach coaches that are trying to teach them something and trying to help them keep their lives in order and trying to make something of their life and how they treat them. And then when you see their mom and daddies on Friday night, how they treat mom and daddy, you know where it comes from. God help us, no matter what, this is in Christian homes. My daddy busted my mouth one time because I looked at my mom and said, yeah. I didn't do it but once. After you spit blood for a little while, you understand when you talk to a woman, it's yes, ma'am. That's right. Yes, ma'am. You pick yourself up enough. Well, I'll call the agents. I just want to let you know, I know our judge of our detention center for youth. And when a parent disciplines a child and it's proper, she'll look at that child and say, you probably needed a lot more than what you got. So go ahead and call it. Y'all all right? I know some policemen, when they come to your house, will say, if your mama tore your backside up, she probably ought to do it again. I better move to the next. By the way, can I just remind us that we read in verse 13, this is the will of God, is that we'd be submissive to government, people, would be submissive to masters, bosses, teachers, principals, coaches. Now, if I can get y'all to come back in the next few weeks, we'll talk about marriage. We'll talk about child raising. Y'all right? Because this ain't the only two areas we're supposed to be submissive. And keep in mind, this submission is based on. I don't want to say this, I can't say that. This is based on your submission to Jesus right now. That's what it's based on. Now let me finish up. Verse 21 through 25. Peter stops right there in the middle. And he says, don't forget we got a great example to follow. What it says. It says, for to this you were called. Did you read that, verse 21? For this you were called. The word called there means to summons. To summons. And by the way, every child of God's been given this call. What is the call? Here it is. For this you were called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example, that you should follow his steps. Who committed no sin, nor was deceit found in his mouth. Who, when he was reviled, which means that he was criticized, made fun of, mocked, questioned, when he was reviled, did not revile in return. Means he didn't argue with them. Stand toe-to-toe and say, I didn't do that. I did not my fault. Have you ever heard anybody say that? Yeah. I didn't do that. Don't stand toe-to-toe with them and argue with them that they're not guilty. You do know how Jesus didn't do that. Now watch it. When he suffered, he did not threaten, but committed himself to him, God the Father, who judges righteously, who himself bore our sins in his own body on the tree, that we, having died to sins, might live for righteousness, by whose stripes you were healed, for you were like sheep going astray, but have now returned to the shepherd and overseer of your soul. Peter reminds us the example that Jesus set in submission to evil governments or bosses or authorities. Notice how Peter concludes this chapter by reminding us if we have an overseer. The King James uses the word bishop. The Greek word used here in the original text means a superintendent, an overseer, a man charged with the duty of seeing that things be done by others are done rightly. So watch this. I'm not done. I know y'all ready to go eat Mother's Day lunch, and I got to cook Mother's Day lunch. All that kind of stuff. Watch this. Peter's in a hard saying here. You're supposed to use all the submission that you have learned under the lordship of Jesus Christ. You're to use it in daily life when it comes to the ordinance of men with government officials, policemen, firemen, all doctors. I mean, I don't care whoever the authority is in measure of government. You're supposed to keep their laws and commandments, unless they violate the law of God. Now, what I mean by that is the law says you can kill babies. You don't not kill babies because that's against God. It's murder. So you don't have to keep that law. Y'all right? Everybody understand? Say amen. But now, if it's law and it's not against the law of God, you're meant to keep it. And you ought to do it because you know how to keep God's law. Now watch it. It don't just stop there. It goes into your masters, your bosses, the people that you labor under, the people responsible for paying your paycheck, the people that are responsible for making sure you have insurance, the people responsible for making sure that you got livelihood. You're supposed to give them an honest day's work. You're supposed to keep their laws and ordinances. They say dress a certain way, you're supposed to dress a certain way. If they say you have a code of conduct, here's your code of conduct. Do it. If it doesn't violate God's law, you're supposed to live that law of conduct. Why? Because you understand God's conduct. And now he's shocked like you, because I'm telling you, in chapter 3, we're going to be here next week. I hope y'all all come back. We're going to talk about wives. I jumped past it for Mother's Day. Give y'all a break. We'll get there next week. I don't have any meeting here next week. And once he stopped right here and he puts a break in, he says, hey, don't forget, we've got a great example. We've got an awesome example that has shown us how to treat people, government and masters, that revile him. They're ugly to him. They're unfair. Have you ever heard a teenager or a child say that's unfair? Woo! I had a dime go up and give $1,000 to Africa today. Y'all all right? Anybody with me? I feel forward. Life's unfair. I'm sorry. You just gotta learn how to deal with life. It's unfair. It's not. The Bible says it rains on the just and the unjust. It's not fair for one to get it and nobody else get it. It just ain't fair sometimes. Jesus showed us how to live. And by the way, just in case you say, well, I'm not going to do that. I like the way he finishes. Don't forget, you was a lost dumb sheep until you found the shepherd. When you found that shepherd, he became your overseer. Look at somebody and say, Jesus is my overseer. Now, if you go back to the Hebrew and the Old Testament, when the nation of Israel was in bondage, you know what they had over them? Taskmasters and overseers. Here in America, when you study American history and study about slavery, you will understand that a slave had an overseer. It's somebody that the owner of the plantation put in charge to make sure that the work got done. And it was done his way. Y'all all right? Let me tell you what God is doing. He's appointed his son. Once you accept him as Lord and Savior, be your overseer. And he placed in you the Holy Spirit, and when you don't do it right, it's his job to make sure you come under conviction so that you will change and do it his way. So now look up here. I want all eyes up this way. All eyes up this way. You're saved today, you got to notice. And he's not worried about your rights. He's not worried about your wisdom. He says it's my rights and my wills that I will invoke in your life. And I do it by grace and by love because you're my citizen. So if you're living here today and you've been doing your boss wrong by talking about, criticizing, arguing with them, stealing, not working, while they're there you work, but then they walk off you and sit around talking jokes. They ain't paying you dearly. You're supposed to honor me. You're supposed to honor God by working. Now I got a mixed crowd here, so let me throw in this one. All you retired folks, you still got somebody you answer to. Most of us your wives. Honey, do this. Amen? Make sure you get her done. You young people look at Brother Sam. I'm trying to teach you something. I'm trying to help you. Your Christianity, if Christ is your Lord and Savior, you ought to be the single most important person in your life. He has set an example by which He expects you as young people to learn now. So that when you get my age and other people say, you understand what submission is. You understand and you learn what submission is. You've been disrespectful to teachers. You've been argumentative with teachers. Hey, if you're being disrespectful to your parents, if you're being argumentative with your parents, you need to understand something. God says that is sin. And if you're sinning against your parents and you're sinning against your teachers, let me tell you who your sin really is against. You're probably, as a child of God, sinning against your Heavenly Father and rebelling against His authority. Y'all, right? That's what you probably do. And by the way, moms and dads, they probably got a pretty good glance at what that looks like through us. Grandmas, grandpas. And so now, if you've not honored God, here's what you need to do to sin. You need to come up here and confess your sin, repent your sin, and here's what you need to do. God, you're my overseer, you change me. I'm not respecting authority. I'm not looking at authority properly. I need to learn. Submission is Christ-like. Everybody repeat after me. Submission is Christ-like. You don't do it because you have to. You do it because that's what Jesus did. If you're His child, you ought to follow Him. So all this rebellion is rejecting His authority as Lord, as overseer, and master. Are y'all right? Now, if we're going to see revival in this area, it's got to begin in the house of God with people that die. So if we've not been honoring and being submissive to government and to judges and to authority, masters, teachers, workers, bosses, we need to come up here and fix that problem and then begin to fix it in your life. Go ahead and bow with us. Father, you set a wonderful example. I pray now that every word that I said, Father, under inspiration of the Holy Spirit, Father, it's a tough saying today. It's tough, Father. I know in my own life, I've dishonored you by breaking the ordinances that you have put over me. I've been doing business with you all week. Father, you keep bringing up the things in my life that I just do. And it's teaching my children to rebel. I understand that, Father, and I've asked your forgiveness and asked you to change it. I pray now that you begin to challenge and speak out into the hearts of your people. And, Father, to help us to see the importance of submission. Father, it is that is a key element in our walk with you. You were submissive to the Father, the Bible says, even to the point of death. Even to the point of death. So, Father, you taught us. You set the example. You lived the example. Now bring that example alive in us, Father. Is our prayer in Jesus' name. Head down, eyes closed, with God's spoken in your heart. You need to make a decision for Him today. If you need to humble yourself, come to this altar and pray. I'll be here, Brother Ross will be here, Brother Gary will be here. We'll be glad to pray with you and give you instruction. You're not submissive to authority now. You need to understand you have submission problem with the King of Kings and Lord of Lords.